Good afternoon. I would like you to take the time to close your eyes and imagine this. You're standing in an atmosphere of dark emptiness when suddenly your bones start to shake and your muscles ache because you either live in a frigid country or because you've had little to nothing to eat for the past few months. Now you can open your eyes. I bet this thought was pretty horrendous to think about. In fact, I can almost guarantee you would never wish this upon children you know, especially not your children. If this is the case, then how do you feel about the nearly 140 million orphans around the world who have the potential to live this way? There are 40 million orphans that live with little to no shelter around the world. These children have no health benefits, no education, no food, no water. They don't even have a roof over their heads. However, thanks to Terry Muson's organization, Orphan's Promise, started by the CBN Christian Broadcasting Network, this number has greatly decreased. I'd like you to keep these points in mind while we go over the inspiring statistical review of what this organization has done for orphans around the world. Orphan's Promise has gone to over 60 countries to reach out to helpless children. In fact, over 72,000 orphans have been touched by this organization. There have been 35,000 orphans that received an education. A lot of these orphans also received a place to sleep. They've received clothes to wear, food, and water. In fact, there have been over 42,000 that were blessed with the knowledge that there's someone out there bigger than their problems, and all he wants to do is take them away. Now, although this organization reaches to orphans, it also reaches out to families that don't have money to take care of their children. It gives women special classes so that they can build skills and they can make money for their family. It also reaches out to teenagers who are running out of time to be in an orphanage. It reaches out to these teenagers and it shows them how to live independently. It gives them a better way to think so that they will never be put in a helpless position again, so that they can provide for themselves. Now, according to SOS Children's Villages, 1 in 12 children die before they reach the age of 5. That's crazy. The worst part is, that's only in sub-Saharan Africa. There are several other countries around the world that have horrifying statistics just like this. No child deserves to live this way. And with your help, Orphan's Promise can truly live up to its name. It can promise these orphans a better future. It can promise these orphans a longer life. Now, as devastating it is to think about the amount of orphans who live a horrifying life, the worst part is, the Wall Street Journal came out with an article in 2007 that said there are over 400,000 individuals in America alone that make more than $1 million a year. If these individuals make that much money, imagine the surplus they have that they spend on frivolous things, like going on cruises, sipping mimosas, when there's a child in Africa that is willing to drink water filled with disease and bacteria because it's better than nothing. As my mother said, your money belongs to God anyways. He's the one who gave you the skills to be able to get a job and make money. So if you're making enough money to live comfortably, plus a little more, I encourage you to take the time to think about donating to Orphan's Promise. In fact, I can guarantee you, children around the world will need the money a lot more. Nobody deserves to live that way. And thanks to organizations like the Orphan's Promise, things like Compassion Child, and several other people around the world are actually starting to give. For instance, one of my favorite country singers, Thomas Rhett's wife, is very, very into going on missions trips and helping these Africans. She's just as passionate, probably even more so, for these kids. Because of this, her husband started the organization, the home team, where he made t-shirts, and the proceeds from these t-shirts that people buy go straight to those children in Africa so that they can have clothes to wear when it's freezing outside, or they can have a food to eat when they're starving. They don't have to feel alone because people like you are giving money to help them have a better future. Now, you might be wondering, well, how can you do this? You can go online to CBN and you can click on their ministries. Orphan's Promise will come up and donate whatever you feel led. Because I can guarantee you, whatever you donate is better than nothing. And if you think about it, saving the life of a child is better than anything you can buy. I mean, saving the life of a child, for me, is way better than getting air conditioning in my car. Because children are what needs to come up so that the future can be prosperous. Without educated, healthy children, then who's going to take care of the elderly? Who's going to step up and fill positions that need strong workers? How can the world be prosperous if they're just letting children die before they reach the age of 5? I'd like you to keep these thoughts in mind tonight and perhaps consider donating. Thank you.